Welcome to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the #1 podcast and resource for Black entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful, sustainable businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. If you're currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, you're invited to join us each and every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family and get ready to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 429. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Today's show topic is the latest digital marketing trends for 2023 that successful entrepreneurs are implementing. The latest digital marketing trends for 2023 that successful entrepreneurs are implementing. It's unfortunate, but we're disproportionately behind the curve when it comes to entrepreneurship and business opportunities. So successful entrepreneurs always want to be in front of the curve and not behind it. So I give you certain examples like e-commerce. I remember years ago, right before I got into e-commerce, I believe in 2014, there was this big program out there called AMZ something, but people were selling this online program for $5,000. And so, a lot of other ethnicities were selling it. They were going on each other's shows and they were charging $5,000 to get in this program. Now, a lot of people made money because it was the Wild Wild West back then, but we were always late to the party. I jumped on it as soon as I saw it. I jumped on it, and that's why I've been able to build some successful e-commerce brands. In addition to that, drop shipping, we're getting in late. Lead generation, we're always getting in late when it comes to that type of stuff. So we need to focus on being at the forefront, in front of the curve when it comes to entrepreneurship and business. Not being in front of the curve just for entertainment, fashion, and all of that good stuff. That's all fine and dandy. But let's start getting in front of the curve where it really makes a difference, and that's about building assets. Before we jump into today's content, let me just share a few things with the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to share all my social media contact information and resource links, such as the link to my latest book, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses, and 2 platforms I've created to help circulate dollars in the worldwide Black community, BeSmartByBlack.com and HireBlackFreelancers.com. Now, if you go to those sites, they're being upgraded to a different platform. So just put your name and email address in and we'll alert you as soon as they're ready to go, which should be shortly. Also, if you want to be listed on those sites, put your name and email address on there. And last but not least, don't forget BEB Academy, guys. Get 3 days free access to the Academy, which is an online learning portal that has all types of resources, masterclass, and courses to help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Go to BEBacademy.com. All of the information I just mentioned is on the website. Go to blackentrepreneurblueprint.com and you'll see everything that I just talked about. Now, let's get ready for today's show. Now, as I mentioned in the opening, I want to get you guys in front of the curve. And today we're going to discuss things that successful entrepreneurs are doing currently and also heading into 2023. I said at the beginning of this year that I want to do only impactful shows that are going to impact your business and your life in a positive manner. Now, this show may not be sexy today, but I'm going to try to break it down and make it as much fun as possible, because we're going to be talking about numbers. And at the end of today's show, I'm going to give you some major takeaways and kind of summarize things and let you marinate on this, guys, because this is something that can literally change your business. So today's show topic, the latest digital marketing trends for 2023 that successful entrepreneurs are implementing. So let's start out by understanding what digital marketing is and why we need it. So digital marketing, which is also called online marketing, is the promotion of your brand or product or service to to connect with potential customers using the internet and other forms of digital communication. This includes not only emails, social media, web-based advertising, but also text and multimedia messages as a marketing channel. So the importance of digital marketing for your business, that it makes customers aware of your product or services and it engages them and helps them make a buying decision. So that's why digital marketing is important. Now, all other types of marketing are important also, but because we're in the digital age, I want to focus today on digital marketing. So there was a recent report put out by a company called leadpages.net. Now, if you're not familiar with Leadpages, they're a software company that helps you make landing pages and small websites. Now, this was a very concise report, and it talked about digital marketing and what successful entrepreneurs are currently doing and what they're looking to do in 2023. So once again, trying to be ahead of the curve, at least with the curve, not behind it. Okay, and it was very conclusive. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to discuss it and dissect and break down this report and kind of make it palatable, because it's a lot of numbers. So I'm going to break it down, and at the end, I'm going to give you some serious takeaways from this. But let's start by this. In the report, Leadpages broke down the following. Number one, they wanted to discover what digital marketing strategies other businesses were employing, which areas they're investing most in, and what challenges they're currently facing. So you want to use this information to guide your own digital marketing strategies, guys, and maximize your results for 2023. What we're going to do today is we're going to break down 5 areas that were in the report, and I'm going to give you guys some takeaways. So the 5 areas we're going to discuss are web traffic, lead generation, online advertising, revenue, and the challenges. Web traffic, lead generation, online revenue, and the challenges that entrepreneurs are having. Now, let's start out with web traffic. So where are businesses getting the majority of their web traffic? Okay, so here's the deal, guys. It doesn't matter if you got a perfectly optimized website or a landing page. It's literally useless if nobody sees it. So that's why digital marketing begins with traffic generation. I always talk about lead generation or traffic generation. You need to be able to get people to your website or landing page. But we're talking about web traffic right now. Now, some of these statistics may have you scratching your head, because I was even surprised at a lot of this data. But when we talk about web traffic, so where's the business getting the major traffic from? And I'm not talking about landing pages specifically, but your website. Landing pages, if you use a service like Leadpages or somebody else, or ClickFunnels, they usually have a super long URL that nobody is really going to find. Okay, but if you have a website like blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com, which has a lot of content, hey, I may be found very, very easily if people start typing in Black Entrepreneur and things of that nature. But this is where the web traffic is coming from for your website. Number one is organic search. That's actually 27.6% of traffic for websites based on this survey. Number two is organic social, which is 19.7%. And number three, web traffic comes from email, which is 14.8%. People always say email's dead. It's never going to die. All right, it's always there. Then following that, you have paid social, paid search, referrals, and other. So here's the thing that surprised me. And you want to recognize, guys, that the top 3 drivers of web traffic are non-paid channels. So you have organic search, which is free, organic social, which is free, and email marketing, which is free. Those are the 1, 2, and 3 respectively. So basically it's saying that the amount of money that you spend on advertising doesn't always dictate or reflect how much traffic you're going to receive. Okay. Organic search, 27.6%, organic social, 19.7%, email marketing, 14.8%. Those are the biggest drivers of web traffic. So your main takeaway in that is non-paid channels might require more time and work, but when done right, they'll likely be the biggest drivers of traffic for your business. So once again, I'm not saying that, there's no place for paid traffic, because I use it all the time. But I always tell you guys about building a platform, right? So when you build a platform, you have access to contacting those people in your audience for free. So my podcast is a platform. I can connect with my audience for free just by coming on doing a podcast. If you're on one of my email lists, I can send you out an email. Okay. So once again, the non-paid channels might require more time and work, meaning building up your platform, but they'll likely be your biggest drivers of traffic for your business. So that's why I keep telling you guys, if you have the eyeballs, if you have a database, building your database, if you have 10,000 people in your database and you want to do a promotion, guess what? You can do a promotion just like Amazon Prime does. All Amazon does on Prime Days is send out the promotions to the people in their database. Now, they have millions, but just imagine the difference if you have 10,000 people in your database versus 100. So the conversion rate is probably going to be the same. The difference is how many people respond. That's the difference between $1 million business and $100,000 business or $100 business. Okay, so now let's look at some of the strategies entrepreneurs are investing in when it comes to web traffic. Okay, so leading the way in this category is social media. So 1/3 of businesses are investing in this channel more than any other. So when you're trying to get the strategies that entrepreneurs are using for web traffic, social media number one. Email marketing comes in second, and then paid advertising comes in third. This is where people are currently spending their money to get web traffic. So once again, leading the way in this category, social media, number 2, email marketing, number 3, paid advertising. I meant to mention this at the top of the show, guys. There's a lot of content in today's episode. Make sure you go and sign up for the BEB newsletter. Just go to blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, and on the bottom of every page, it'll either say join us or newsletter sign up. Make sure you put your email address in and your name, and every Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you'll get our newsletter. And in that newsletter, you'll have the show notes to all the shows. So, for example, if you're in the car today, you're driving, you're working out or whatever, and you can't write down any of this content, make sure you sign up for the newsletter and get the show notes. Okay. So in terms of web traffic, the study shows that people are investing in paid social media and email marketing as the most popular channels to spend their money to get more web traffic. Okay. So that's web traffic. Just to recap web traffic and make sure you guys have this right. So the top 3 drivers of web traffic are actually non-paid channels: organic search, organic social, and email marketing. That's for web traffic. Now, what are entrepreneurs investing in to get that web traffic? And once again, it's social media and email marketing. So that's what we have for web traffic. Next, let's look at lead generation. Now, if you listen to this podcast for any period of time, you've probably heard me talk about lead generation. The 2 systems that you want to start building first are your lead generation system and your fulfillment system. Remember, no leads equals no sales equals no business. It's a no-brainer, guys. If you don't have leads coming in, you don't have anybody to sell to, means you're not going to generate revenue, means you're going to go out of business. Okay. So in this study, we're going to talk about lead generation, and this is how businesses are generating leads. According to the study, 52.9% of the people generate leads using lead magnets. 14.1% generate leads with a free consultation, and 8.4% of businesses generate leads with webinars. Followed behind there are free trials, referrals, and other. So you see, guys, over half of the businesses use some type of lead magnet to generate revenue. So I'm not going to get too heavy into lead magnets, but a lead magnet is a piece of content that sits on the internet and is on a landing page. And normally that content is designed to get you to leave your name and email address to download or access the content. Now, that content is specifically aligned with whatever that business or person is selling. So, for example, if I'm a company and I sell a toenail fungus cream, and I'm just making this up as we go along, there could be a free PDF report on the top 5 solutions to get rid of toenail fungus. and somebody would be like, oh man, I got toenail fungus. Let me put my name and email address in here and get this PDF. Now the PDF comes down, and now that company has your name and email address because you've raised your hand and let them know that toenail fungus is an issue or problem for you. And what do they sell? They sell that toenail fungus cream or whatever. So now they've put you in their database, and if they're smart, in addition to that lead generation system, they're going to have a system that takes you through a campaign to help turn you into a paying customer. So that's just an example of a lead magnet. Okay. So once again, lead generation. Here's some of the takeaways. Lead magnets are both an affordable and effective way, guys, to generate leads. So if you're a new business looking for leads, this strategy probably is the best place for you to start. Now, let's look at the return on investment that lead magnets have according to this study. So they said lead magnets have a 44.3% return on investment, followed by a free consultation, which has a 17.6% return on investment, and webinars, which have a 12.9% return on investment. So this is basically what I've been telling you guys in terms of lead magnets, building up your database and being able to communicate with your audience at any time. So lead magnets are the way to go, guys. And it doesn't have to be a PDF. It could be a video. It could be an audio. It could be a book. It could be whatever, a webinar. Matter of fact, I just ran a promotion, a native ads promotion for last week's show about if your spouse doesn't support your business. And basically the lead magnet was access to the show. So I ran it on platforms that may not have been familiar, with the podcast. And if you're having this problem, I said, click here, put in your name and email, and then it shoots them a link to last week's episode. So that was a lead magnet. So what basically happens is if that was an issue for that person looking at that ad, then they raised their hand and said, you know what, I want to hear what this guy is saying about this. And once again, I put them in my database, and it's actually been going like crazy. I think yesterday I got over 125, 130 people that opted in for that lead magnet. So once again, I'm building that database. So lead generation is crucial, guys, in order for you to build a successful, sustainable business. And what we're talking about is the latest digital marketing trends for 2023 that successful entrepreneurs are implementing. So we talked about web traffic, lead generation, and now we're going to talk about online advertising. Let's look at online advertising. So according to this study, nearly 3/4 of those who surveyed indicated that they spend less than $500 per month on advertising, with almost 1/3 saying they don't invest any money in this strategy. So the question is, why are so few businesses investing big money in online advertising? And there are a couple of potential reasons based on this survey. Number one, it's expensive. Newer businesses don't have the budget to spend thousands on advertising every month. Get it. I understand that. Number two, there are better traffic sources. And as we've talked about, most businesses get most of their traffic from organic sources. Okay, we have to understand that. So once a business builds up a steady stream of organic traffic, they're likely to start reducing their ad spend. So when you start getting that organic traffic, most people cut back. Now, it's so funny. I was listening to a show, I think it was a podcast the other day, and they were just talking about how a lot of big businesses stopped advertising and they were still doing pretty much the same or even just a little more from the organic traffic that they were getting. I forgot what podcast I was listening to. And it's kind of counterintuitive to what you would expect. But here's some numbers. 43% of businesses surveyed spend between 1 cent and $499 per month. 43% of businesses spend between 1 cent and $499 per month. 29.3% spend $0 per month. 29.3% of businesses spend $0 a month on online advertising, and only about 6% spend over $2,000 per month. So the main takeaway with that is, guys, depending upon your business model, now it all depends on what you're selling, how you're selling it. Once you build up a solid stream of organic traffic, you can usually start reducing your online ad spend. So as we talked about in number one, web traffic, you want to start building up your organic search and your organic social and also your email marketing to get that traffic. So that's online advertising. All right, now we want to talk about revenue. So businesses usually make revenue in one or two ways: one-off sales and recurring sales. Okay, so which one is most prevalent? And 65.1% of businesses work off of one-off sales, meaning if I'm selling flat irons, there's no recurring fee to that. It's just a one-off sale. Okay, I got to keep selling units to keep making money. 34.9% of businesses work off recurring payments. So if you're a software company, software as a service, there's a monthly online recurring fee that you have to pay for software. And so that's in terms of revenue. And this is what was found in the survey by Lead Pages in terms of how entrepreneurs are making revenue. Now, if you're able to create that monthly recurring revenue stream, that's a beautiful thing. You sell it once and you continue to get paid. That's why software is so profitable if you're able to build a solid software company. And the next thing we want to talk about are the challenges that business face. All right, and these are the numbers from the report. The biggest challenges that you face when you're starting your business. These are the biggest challenges you face when you're starting your business. Number one is lead generation at 22.5%. Number two is lack of funds at 21.1%. And number three is converting leads to customers at 18.5%. And these are some of the challenges that businesses face. So the biggest challenges for starting or new businesses: lead generation, 1, lack of funds, 2, converting leads to customers, 3. Now, that's for new businesses. Now, here are the biggest challenges that businesses are currently facing, meaning if you've been in business for a while. Number one is converting leads to customers, 27.4%. And number two is lead generation, 18.3%. So really the main takeaway that this is telling us is that you need to set up automated email sequences that's going to lead, guide and lead towards a purchase once they enter your sales funnel. Okay. But you see, one of the biggest challenges for startup businesses is number one, lead generation. So I tell you guys ad nauseum, you need a lead generation system that works 24/7, 365. Okay. You build up your leads, you build up your database. And like I said, the difference between the quote unquote gurus that do $1 million product launch and somebody that does $100 product launch is basically the size of the database. Okay. All things being equal, if I have 500,000 people in the database, right, and you have 50 people in the database with the same conversion ratio, if we launch a product, I'm going to make more just because the function of the numbers, not because these gurus are any smarter, but they understand that they need lead generation and they need to build a database. That's why it's so critical. And that's why I hammer it home, because that's where you start. If you don't have anybody to sell to, guess what? You're not making any money. Doesn't take a genius to figure that out, right? So these are the numbers that are coming from this report. Biggest challenge you face when you're starting a business is lead generation. The biggest challenge that you currently have, that most existing businesses have, is converting leads to customers. But it all starts, guys, with lead generation. That is the foundation. If you don't have that, you don't have a business. Okay, if you don't have a way to market, you don't have a business. Now, before I give you guys my overall takeaways and close out everything and summarize everything, let me just share all my social media contact information and my resource links. So I'm going to keep it real short and simple today, guys. So I mentioned at the top of the show, my new book is out, or my latest book is out, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses. $14.95 print version, $9.95 digital version. Go to the website, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. Everything I'm about to tell you is on the site. All right. I mentioned also besmartbyblack.com and hireblackfreelancers.com. Go to the website, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. Yes, they do have individual sites, but it's easier just to send you to the main site. Also, BEB Academy, get your 3 days free access to BEB Academy. Go to bebacademy.com or go to blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com, the website. Now, in terms of all of my online courses, go to the website, hit the learn button, and there'll be a drop down. There's all types of things that you have. You'll have the courses there. You'll also have resources. So if you want to learn about marketing, e-commerce, strategy and mindset, scaling your business, everything is on the website. So go to blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com, hit the learn button. Now, if you want to connect with me, anything long, family, hit me on my email, jjones@blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. That's JAYJONES@blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Twitter, JJones001, JAYJONES001. Instagram, I have 2 IG accounts. The first one is JJones for real, JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. Second one is Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. YouTube, guys, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I have additional content on YouTube that is not on the show. Yes, the show does come out on YouTube. Go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, and hit that subscribe button. If you're on Clubhouse, hit me at I am J Jones. LinkedIn, find me and follow me there, J Jones, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Once again, family, everything I just said, go utilize the new website. I spent a lot of time and money getting that thing done. BlackEntrepreneurblueprint.com. If you want to take the shortcut, you can go to BEBconnect.com. BEBconnect.com is going to forward you to the same place. Now, let's look at the overall takeaways from today's show. Remember, today's show is about getting in front of the curve. So we're always behind the curve when it comes to entrepreneurship, building assets, businesses, and income opportunities, things of that nature. Now, when it comes to entertainment, singing, sports, or whatever, a lot of times we're in front of the curve. We are the culture. We lead the culture. But we need to start focusing on other things that are going to help create wealth, building assets, generational wealth. And so today, that's what today's show topic was about. It's about looking at what other people and other businesses are doing that are successful, what they're currently doing now, and what they're going to be doing in 2023. I know there was a lot of stats in today's show, but I'm going to summarize it and break it down. So here's your overall takeaways. Number 1, focus on organic traffic. Okay. So despite all the paid channels available to you, organic traffic is still how most of the businesses bring in prospects to their websites and landing pages. So focus on building these channels early and you'll be rewarded later on. So for example, my podcast, right? I get a lot of people that go to my website because they find my podcast, be it via YouTube or on iTunes, Apple Music, whatever, Stitcher, whatever. And so focus on organic traffic. Organic traffic doesn't cost you any money, but it's going to cost you time to build content. I just did an interview on another podcast yesterday, and the young brother was like, damn, man, you got 428 episodes, and that was before this one drops. And I said, yeah, it's just consistency. But when you go on Google and you type in Black Entrepreneur or Black Entrepreneur Blueprint or whatever, chances are that either one of my podcast episodes is going to come up or the website. And once again, that's because of organic traffic. So consistency, putting out content on a consistent basis. So that's number 1. Takeaway number 2, create more lead magnets. So you want more leads? Guess what? Create additional lead magnets. So it's clear that the primary way that businesses are generating leads, guys, is through having lead magnets. And most businesses have more than one. So I'll use this example. I talked in one show about my insole business. I used to have a business that sold insoles. So my youngest daughter, who played a ton of sports in high school, she had bad feet. So she had to get these orthopedic insoles that cost like $300 to $400, which was crazy. And the wild thing was I found the same insoles on Alibaba for like $10 to $12. And that's why I actually started that business. But anyway, I was talking about that on one show, and I was just talking about my marketing for those insoles. And I gave the example of selling those insoles to field hockey players, selling those insoles to waiters, people that, wait tables, and also selling those insoles to people that like to run. And so they're all three different conversations. So when I talk about number 2, create more lead magnets, it could be the same product, but you have a different lead magnet for every type of person you're talking to. Okay, so a lead magnet for a field hockey player with the insoles could be something along the lines of, hey, you want to score more goals? You can't do that if you can't run, right? So if you have hurt feet, J. Jones insoles. If I'm talking to somebody that likes to run, hey, want to get your time down and be able to jog without pain anymore and enjoy exercising, get the J. Jones insoles. So you get what I'm saying. So overall takeaway number 1, focus on organic traffic. Number 2, create more lead magnets. So speak specifically to whoever your target markets are. If you have multiple target markets or customers or avatars, you need to speak to them directly with different lead magnets. Number 3, and these are the takeaways, you don't need a large advertising budget. Remember, most businesses that were in the survey don't spend a lot of money on online advertising. So don't be discouraged if you don't have a large advertising budget. Once again, focus on that organic traffic if you don't have a large budget. Now, if you have a budget to pay for it and it makes sense, you're getting a return on investment. Yeah, you can go ahead and speed that up and accelerate it by spending money on advertising. So I spend money on advertising all the time, every day, pretty much every month. There are very few times where I'm not spending any money at all. Now, it may not be a lot of money on some campaigns. Literally, I'm running $10, $15 a day. So you don't have to spend a lot of money on an advertising budget. That's number 3. Number 4, and here we go, family. Build your lead generation system early. You should have your lead generation system before you open the doors for business. Okay. So this is the biggest challenge for most businesses, guys. So if you're just starting out, make sure that you have a lead generation system. And your best bet is to create 1 or 2 high value lead magnets and dedicate your time and money to promoting those. So 1 or 2 high value lead magnets. And once again, a lead magnet has to be aligned with the product and or service that you're selling. You want people to raise their hand. So once again, if you're a jogger and you have sore feet and you see a lead magnet for the J. Jones insoles that are going to help you feel better, take away the pain when you run, you'll be running your best times, you'll enjoy running again, okay? So build that lead generation system early. This is something, guys, that I've talked about on previous episodes, but most people, when they start a business, the first thing that they do is they work on their product or service first. Let me go and create this product or service or my system, get my office set up or whatever. When they're ready to do business, they scratch their head, they look around and like, damn, who am I going to sell to? So the first thing you want to do, even before you're ready to sell, is generate leads. Okay, if you're an insurance agent and you're waiting to get your insurance license, and I'm just making this up on the fly, right? You just took it and it's going to take you a couple of weeks for it to come back. Okay, guess what? When it comes back, you don't want to start marketing. You want to start marketing now. You want to have a database of people you can reach out to as soon as that license comes back. You're on the phone setting appointments. If you're writing a new book, you don't want to sit there and wait till you finish the book, it's edited, printed, and finally gets sent to your home to start marketing, right? You want to create lead magnets that are going to have people raise their hand. So it could be a pre-order, it could be a chapter, it could be whatever. But you want to make sure that you have your lead generation system and you start it early, okay? That's number 4. Number 5, make sure you have a way to nurture leads after they enter your funnel. So once you establish a way to consistently generate leads, guys, you need a strategy to convert those leads into paying customers. So an automated email marketing campaign, that's a great solution. It keeps the leads engaged, you provide value and educates them on your brand, your product, or your service, whatever you're trying to do. But you need to have an automated sales funnel or some type of system that you continue to nurture those leads. Okay. So once again, real quick, the overall takeaways: number one, focus on organic traffic. Number two, create more lead magnets. Number three, you don't need a large advertising budget. Number four, build your lead gen system early. Number five, make sure you have a way to nurture those leads after they get into your funnel. So this is something, guys, that I wanted to get out to you so you could be ahead of the curve, not behind it, not watching everybody else. We always get into something, and by the time we get into it or implement it, the money is already gone. All right. It's like getting into a network marketing company 5 years after the thing started. The people at the top have made the money because they were ahead of the curve. You get in, they making money off you, but you're not making money. Don't be that person. OK, don't be that person. Now, before we close it on out, guys, I say this each and every week because I mean it. Guys, we get more and more downloads because of you, the BEB family. I appreciate you guys, man. Please continue to spread the word about the podcast, about the blog, about the new BEB website. Guys, we want BlackEntrepreneurBlueprint.com to be the resource for Black entrepreneurs worldwide. So please continue to spread the word about the whole BEB ecosystem, guys. Remember, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us. It's about building an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.